In this video, I'm going to show you how to join your solid grannies to form a star block. This join involves slip stitching your squares with the right sides together. First of all, I think it's a good idea for me to show you the order in which we're going to join the squares to form the star. So the first part is to join the 4 dark colour solid grannies together, and that becomes the centre of the block. We'll then be adding the 2 colour grannies to the sides like this. So we'll be joining these along these edges here. And then finally we'll be joining the solid grannies we made in the light colour into the corners here. So the first 4 squares will be joined along this edge and along this edge. We'll then add the 2 colour grannies and join them along these edges here. And then we'll add the corner grannies in the light colour, where we'll join them along the edges here. So first of all, just move those ends out the way. We're going to take our dark colour yarn, make a slip knot and pop it onto our hook. Now we're going to be joining these squares with right sides together, and we're going to slip stitch them together. So first of all, take 2 and put the right sides together, and then you can see there your stitches along the sides. So that's where we're going to join them along. So first of all, put your hook through the corner chain spaces of both squares, and then just pull a loop through and then pull it through the loop on your hook to join. So you've just slip stitched those together through the corner chain spaces. Next we're going to work our slip stitches along the side, but we're going to slip stitch into the outer loops of the stitch on each square. So it's that one there, and then this one here on the other square. Wrap your yarn over, pull through and pull through the loop on your hook. Move to the next stitch along, and again you're going to use the outer loop. So it's this one here, and then the corresponding outer loop on the other square, which is this one here, and slip stitch together. Same again as you work along the side. So the outer loops, slip stitch together, carry on along that side and keep going in each stitch until you get to the corner. And then once you're at the corner, put your hook through the chain spaces on each square, pull your yarn through, slip stitch, and you've joined 2 of your squares. We now need to join the next 2. So put your right sides together, and we're going to continue on, so don't cut your yarn. Put your hook through the chain spaces on both squares and pull your loop through and through the loop on your hook, and then you've joined them there at the corner. And then carry on as before into the outside loops of each square, slip stitching them as you go along, all the way along the side. Keep going until you get to the corner again. Now we're at the corner, so put your hook through the chain space on each square, pull your yarn through and through the loop on your hook, and you can now fasten off and you've joined your 4 squares through the middle there. So we now need to join them along the other edge, this edge here. We've done that one, we now need to join them through there. So once again, you're going to put your right sides together, so fold those two in half like that. Grab your yarn, make a slip knot, pop it on your hook, and it's the exact same process again. So we're going to put your hook in through the chain spaces, pull it through and through the loop on your hook, so it's all joined, and then once again work along each stitch in those outer loops, slip stitching each one together. Keep going all the way through. Till you get to the corner. Put your hook through the chain spaces again on each corresponding square. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to see, so you have to feel your way a little bit. And there's the corresponding chain space there. And pull your loop through as before. Do the same now. Get your other 2 squares, you're going to do the same. So through the chain spaces, it's that one. Feel around for it, there it is. And pull a loop through. Slip stitch, and then once again slip stitching through the outside loops along that edge as well. Nearly there. One more. And then hook through the chain spaces on each square, slip stitch and fasten off. So you've now joined your centre 4 squares together. So we're now going to join a couple of our solid granny, our 2 colour granny squares onto one of the sides. First of all, we need to join the 2 colour grannies to each other. So once again, fold them over so they're right sides together so that we can join along this edge. So we're working along this edge here. Make a slip knot with your light coloured yarn, put your hook in, and then put your hook through the chain spaces on each of the squares, and then once again, same process as before, we're going to work a slip stitch into each of the corresponding stitches in the outer loops all the way along that side until we get to the corner. One more. Through the chain spaces at the corners and fasten off your yarn. And you've joined your 2 colour grannies together there along that edge. So bring back your centre part, so your 4 dark colour solid grannies, and we now need to join these ones to these ones along this edge here. So fold over so they're right sides together. We need to use the dark colour yarn now. So swap back to your dark colour. Make a slip knot, pop it on your hook. So again, same process. put your hook in through the corner chain spaces and slip stitch through those, and then all the way along in the outer loops, all the way along that edge. Till you get to the corner chain spaces. And then in the chain spaces, it's that one, and then through that one, slip stitch through, and then the chain spaces on the next squares, and slip stitch through, continue along that edge into the outer stitches, slip stitching all the way along. Last stitch, and then back at the corners through those chain spaces on the corresponding squares. Fasten off your yarn, there we go, you've joined your 2 colour grannies to your solid centre grannies there. You're then going to do the exact same with the other ones. So join those ones together along that edge, and then these ones together along that edge, and keep going until you've joined all 8 2 colour grannies. So once you've joined all your 2 colour grannies, you can see your star starting to form. So we just want to make the block square shaped now. So we're going to join our last 4 solid grannies that we made in the light contrast colour, and we're going to join them along these edges here. As before, with our slip stitches with right sides together. So we'll start with this one up here, fold it over so the right sides together, and we can work along the edge first. So we need to use our light coloured yarn for this step. Make a slip knot, put your hook through. Okay, so once again we're going to join them together through the chain spaces with a slip stitch. And again along the edges, slip stitching through the outer loops, all the way along that edge. And keep going until you get to the chain spaces, and then stop there, because we're going to treat those a little bit differently this time. Now before we were joining through the chain spaces, but if we do that on this step, we're going to find that you can see the light coloured yarn on the right side of the star block, and it will be visible. So what we need to do is go through kind of like the outside loop again of the chain space. So do that on the square that's facing you, and then do the same thing on the square that you're joining to. So just take the outside, or one of the outside loops that you can find, and then slip stitch together, and then the light coloured yarn won't show on the other side. We now need to join it to the 4 solid grannies that we made in the middle. So we're going to do the same process again, and just take the outside, one of the outside loops, and then slip stitch through to just join it there. And now we're going to join to that other edge. So if I open it up, you can see, so we've joined it along this edge here, we've joined to the corner there, and we now need to join to this edge here. So just fold, and just put my hook in because I've just lost my loop there. So fold it over, and then if you bring it round, bend it round so you've got right sides together with that side, and again take the outside loop, or one of the outside loops of the chain space of each corresponding square. It's a little bit fiddly, take your time, there's absolutely no rush. And then once again, slip stitch in the outside loops on each of the squares along that edge to join them together. Last one. And then once you get to the corner, through the chain spaces as before, slip stitch and then fasten off. And you've joined your corner, your solid light coloured square to your corner. And you're going to do exactly the same with the other ones in those spaces there. And what you'll have is a nice invisible join on the front. Thank you very much for watching my tutorial. You can find more videos on my channel and find more information about this blanket on my blog. I'll put the link in the video information below. To keep up to date with what I'm making, come and follow Little Dove Crochet on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, bye!